Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue. Now here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Man, we just rolled this thing off. Shelby McCall has that 3-2-1, as long as she doesn't go into a foreign language like she does sometimes and tricks me. But
as long as it's three different numbers.
Three different numbers. Well, yeah, if we don't go any farther than that,
true.
We're not starting anywhere. You heard that voice. You know that he's been here from the start, 22 years ago.
I was only 12 years old.
12 years old. You acted like you were 12.
That's
now
true.
you act like you're 13.
Yes, do.
You know, and that is Gene Smith.
Good morning, everyone.
The hunter education guru. He's got his TWRA Big Orange on today, so we won't miss him. And a Montana hat. I like that Montana hat.
My son went there, but I didn't.
But you got the hat.
I did.
You did get the hat. And then all the way from Enid.
Yes,
Yeah, Enid.
the one and only.
The one and only, the traveling man.
Sitting out here in the dark.
In the dark. It's
looking across at the Enid Dam over there
Yes.
with the lights on.
Yes, this will be your last time to sit in the dark because
I can walk to it. Of course, they've got the reservoir pulled down, to Winter Pool. So
yeah.
here's the campground at Persimmon Hill. There's an inlet that comes in, and it's high and dry. You can walk all the way across it.
Of course, this is Dave Gabbert. We didn't get to introduce him because he jumped right in, as he's jumping. But tomorrow, it'll be light because daylight savings time finally ends. So set those clocks back an hour tonight at 2 a.m. if you want to. But I'm not staying up to 2 a.m. to set my clock back. I wish they would just keep it.
No. Well, they used to do it for the farmers. But
the farmers can't even get up now. It's too dark for them.
Exactly.
So I don't know what you folks out there listening are thinking about, but I'm not a daylight savings person.
If you have any problems, call Larry Ray.
No.
BR 549.
No. I was there opening day of the deer season last Monday on Halloween, and it was spooky. It was dark. When the sunrise was 7:19 on Monday.
Isn't that something?
On a Monday, Halloween, and of course the traffic. Man, the old days when you'd start Dave, on the third Saturday of the month. Was that right? Is that the way we used to do?
Always a Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Saturday before Thanksgiving, and there's cars were bumper to bumper just about. Everybody was heading toward Webster's after killing their deer.
Oh, yeah.
And now this past Monday, it's me and Steve McPherson in his Jeep, and I bet we saw maybe 2 trucks with ATVs on the back, and also heard one shot. And needless to say, we didn't see anything. I thought it was going to be a perfect morning. It was really too mild, I guess. But I don't know. I understand they did kill a bunch of deer on the Young Sportsman's hunt. We'll try to get who won that contest at Dave's Deer Processing and see how big the deer was in the contest. But speaking of contests, before we talk of each other, hopefully at the end of the show, about 7 o'clock this morning, we're going to have Ricky Dukes from Smith Consumer Products. And all you folks, they've been in business since 1886.
I used to work there.
That's longer than you've been around.
That's where I first started.
That's where you first started.
He was a stock boy putting up kerosene lamps.
Well, I tell you what, Smith's has been around, and they know how to do knife sharpenings and all these different kind of things. So
that's a nice pack.
Yes, so we're going to give this away later in the show. Listen up, and we're going to tell you about that. You're going to really enjoy this. Hopefully, we'll hook up with Ricky, thanks to our good friend Dina Vick out of King Elder Communications in Little Rock. And then we'll close out the show with one of my favorite people, and that's C.J. Buck. And we'll continue the talk on knives. I've got my little buck knife in my pocket.
The thing about buck knives, they stay sharp.
They stay sharp if you don't
Yeah.
lose them. If you don't lose
them, yes.
I've lost this one about 6 times.
I've done that.
And it shows back up somehow.
I always bought me a cheap one. That way, if I lose it, I won't care.
Well, I guess so. But we'll talk to CJ in there. But Dave Gabbert is down at Enid. Gene was just had a wonderful show, I understand, out in Millington.
Yeah, Baker Community Center. I had like 45, 50 young ladies and a few men.
And you did your...
I did my wildlife program. I brought on my bone boxes, we call it.
And you had your pelts.
Yeah.
Well, all those were... They weren't dead. They were dead.
You had 14 different animals and their skulls.
Did you really?
Yeah.
14 different animals. So Gene has done this for how long?
Long time. Well, I think Dave's the one that helped me get it set up.
Dave did?
Yeah.
I thought he was still young.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that. But you do these programs.
Yeah.
And does that. And then, of course,
I did 6 this year so far.
All right. Hunter education is now, we're basically.
Oh, yeah. It's sad. It's online now. And it's hard to get a class. I've had 2 classes with 5 people each.
Oh, my.
And I had the last one I did have 8. Okay. But everything's online, and I guess they want to do it the easy way. But
you'll be
mine's free.
You'll be at Wyhack, though.
Yeah, we'll be at Wyhack.
Coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course, the quail hunt's
next week.
November 12th is the quail hunt.
November 12th. We had the guys on last week.
Right.
Talking to them about that. It's back-to-back, Brother Darrell and Darrell, right? I never can get which one's which, but it's hard to figure out where Dave Gabbard is because...
He's EL and I'm YL.
Oh, is that the way it is?
That's it.
Okay, a different spelling.
Our mama named us that way so she wouldn't get us confused.
It's true.
It's obvious we couldn't get y'all confused. But
well, Mommy had to feed him with a slingshot. He was so ugly when he was born.
Here we go. We will have some puns today on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And good morning to all you good folks listening to us here on AM 790 and 92.9 HD FM, of course, out in Brownsville on 95.3 FM and 1520 AM, and in Jackson on News Talk 101.5. And as I said, Shelby McCall is our show producer. Going to have lots of fun because this is back-to-back. We had these 2 guys on last week because it was 5th Saturday, and they're always with us on 1st Saturday. And, Dave, I figured it out. You and Rand, as much as y'all travel, you just need to put on Ricky Nelson's Traveling Man.
That's right.
And just
I'm a traveling man.
Yeah, there you go. Been a lot of places.
More like Willie Nelson on the road again.
Oh, we did figure that out, didn't we? Did we do that?
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
We could do
Across
that.
the desert sand, man.
Or I lost my heart in Walgreens and cried all the way to Sears.
It's true.
We could have that in there too.
Yeah.
If we get along with it.
The traveling's kind of cutting back a little bit when fuel goes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't. So are y'all pretty well winding down? Are you getting ready for?
Yeah. In fact, this is the last trip. When I get it back to the hacienda, I'll pull it out there and wash it and winterize it and put it back out there under the barn.
Yeah, they do not live in a hacienda. They live in a log house. Yeah, out in the woods. In Lexington, but I'm interested to talk to Mark Thurman, also the fisheries chief, the new fisheries chief for TWRA. And Dave, you know Mark, and he's come up through the ranks. I mean, when you've been there 36 years, it's about time to be fisheries chief, I would say. But there's a whole lot of proposals going on right now, folks. The TWRA has put them out there, and you have a time frame to apply, look them over, make suggestions, and believe it or not, they do look at all your suggestions. And they won't, don't they, Dave? I mean, really.
They look at every one, but when you put a suggestion in there, you got to have the basis for it.
Yes.
Correct.
You got to put your facts down.
Yes.
And tell us. You just don't say, well, I think everybody needs a 10-pound bass.
Yeah.
And
okay.
leave it at that. They'll look at it and they go, okay, we'll file that one over there.
Give your reasons, right?
You got to give the reason. You got to justify it.
And they will look at those. I mean, if you supply that, but you've got to. Let's see if I can find it here. November the 15th. That is the deadline for sport fishing comments, the TWRA. And we're going to talk to Mark because there's several involving TWRA agency lakes like Browns Creek, Herb Parsons, and I still got to get used to this one, Lake Halford. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Now, where is that at?" Dave probably knows that. That's Carroll County. That's Carroll County.
Right outside of Huntington. That was the what was called the 1,000-acre Carroll County Recreational Lake. Or, you know, because they when they originally built that lake, of course, it took them. I wrote a story on that lake. It only took them about 20 years to build it.
Oh my God!
Because all the, you know, what people don't understand, you know, when an entity like that built the lake, what ground they flooded, they had to mitigate. They had to go buy X number of acres of wetlands to replace what they covered up.
Ah, okay.
And,
and I don't know how long ago has that been. I don't know, but I remember all of that.
It's a, you know, that's one of the few, if not the only, TWR lake. When they take it over, you know, it has recreational boating on it.
Yes, it does.
You know,
yes, it does.
It has, you know, water skiing and personal watercraft, but they also have a couple of fishing-only zones.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about with Mark, because they proposed for that lake and several others to increase the daily bass creel limit from 5 to 10. First day, only allowing 2 bass per day over 18 inches. And that's a lot of the same things for Browns Creek, Lake Halford, Herb Parsons, Natchez Trace, which I know Davis, Pin Oak Lake is Dave's familiar with. I mean, one of my favorite places, Travis McNatt Lake on Big Hill Pond. I just love it. And, of course, Poplar Tree Lake, they're going to increase the bass daily creel limit to 10 fish there, only 1 over 16. So we're going to talk a lot with Mark about these fishing regulations that they set back at their Fall Creek Falls conference. And then don't forget, folks, mark on your calendars right now, December 1st and 2nd. We'll announce this as we talk tomorrow. TWRA, the Fish and Wildlife Commission, is coming to Memphis.
And you are invited.
At the Ducks Unlimited headquarters. Out there on December 1st and 2nd, and we'll talk more about that because I know I'll be there, and it's open to the public. But anyway, fun show today. You want to talk to the first time we've ever had a guest named Anastasia. I got to ask her about that. Anastasia Patterson's coming up. She's the cover lady for Bassmaster Magazine. So let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Let's start this thing rolling right after this break.